Hello, hello, hello. We are
Okay.
back with another episode of Black Fatherhood Conversations here today, man. And you know what, man? We have a great panel tonight, man. I'm very excited about tonight's recording, man. I think we're going to have a powerful recording with some powerful men here. But the first thing that we got to do is get our salutations and greetings out the way first. All right. So, I mean, like I said before, be prepared for a great episode tonight. I think it's gonna be a really great episode. I got some great questions. To the right of me, I've been watching this guy, man. I'm watching him, man. I've been watching him all over Facebook. He's an amazing dad of 3 kids, right? You just had a kid, right? You just had another baby,
Had my
right?
first boy.
Just
Yes,
had your
sir.
first boy. Congratulations to that, man. Give it up for my guy, Will Fleming, all the way back to high school, man. Let's cheer it up for him, man.
My man.
Welcome to the show, man. How you feeling tonight, man? You good?
Man, I'm feeling good, man. I'm thankful, blessed, grateful to be here, all the things, man. So looking forward to tonight.
Awesome. All right, and then to the right of him, man, you already know he's a staple of the show, man. This is my brother, man. Give it up for my guy, Kevin Aldridge Jr. Let's cheer it up for him, man. How you feeling tonight, bro?
Chilling, man. Blessed. I'm good. Can't complain at all.
I ain't complaining. Hey, can y'all hear my my little sound effects if I play? Let me
Hear it now.
Yeah.
Y'all can hear that? Okay.
Yeah.
Cool. And then to the bottom of him, he's back. He just got back from Miami, bro, from the Bahamas. Looking like you got a little tan down there, man. Get up. Let's give it up for Meech, man. Let's cheer it up for him.
What's up?
I know you feeling
Good
good.
to be back.
Rejuvenated, right?
Not real. I will say good to be back, but really not. But I'm glad we made it safely. But we had a good time. Happy to be back, boys.
Hey, you ate a lot of them guys' burgers down there, I see.
Probably a little big in the airport, but hey, I'm here. Yeah. If you didn't know, on Carnival, go see guys.
Yeah, go see guys. They talk about them burgers all the time, man. That's I hear good things about burgers, man.
Balls.
All right, man. To the left of him, man. You already know who it is. He's a staple of the show, man. Let's give it up for my cousin George.
What's going on, fellas? What's happening? What's the word?
Hey, cuz, you feeling good? You feeling all right?
I can't complain, man. Let's make it happen.
Let's make it happen. Hey, you ain't say what you normally say, though, man.
Let's make it do what it do then, baby.
Let's make it do what it do. All right, and then to the left of him, you already know who it is, man. First of all, this guy, he goes back to me when we was, about 9, 10 years old. He's my first college roommate, man. Give it up for my guy, man, Jimmy Miller, man.
Thank you, guys. We also was in a little singing group together. You remember that, Mike?
Yes, I definitely remember that.
Yeah.
Wait a minute.
Yeah.
Hey, you know
what was the name of the group?
Hey,
I have no idea, man. It was like it was.
They remember
when we were in a group.
They remember. They remember.
It was
do
not
you
a
remember
group
the
at
song
all.
we sung? Do you remember the song we sung?
Not at all, man. I got
Okay.
pictures. I just don't remember it. Like, dude, we weren't a group at all. That was
It
a
wasn't
for a
memorable.
one-time
Let me just
talent
tell you
show.
They remember. Yeah, they remember. They
Yeah,
got
I
embarrassed.
remember, bro.
I remember the song.
I'm not embarrassed because I didn't sing. So I didn't sing.
Yeah.
That was all on Mike. You know, I was just
Jimmy
hyped.
was the dancer. He was the dancer. He was the entertainment. Okay.
So wait a minute. Were y'all R&B, soulful? What we working with?
We was R&B.
R&B. It was
But me and Jimmy, we was
talent show? School talent show?
This was a talent show.
CMO talent show. Yeah,
CMO
and we
talent
thought
show.
we was the coolest guys on campus, and we were not.
Okay.
Yeah, we definitely were not.
Fun.
We would go around the girls' dorm rooms and go sing, bro. That's what we.
Are you serious?
We was doing
Are
stuff
you
like
serious?
that. Yeah.
Tragic.
Were y'all like a cover group? Were y'all singing original songs?
Man,
we gotta figure this out before we get started,
man. That's where we gonna leave it at, man.
Yeah, I gotta investigate more.
Let's get
Yeah, we need more info.
Me, whatever you find out, let me know, man. Straight up.
Hey, I got videos. I can dig in the archive. I can go find it. Listen.
Oh man, I need to.
Okay, we was super
I need
lame.
the
I'm gonna say
evidence.
that first to start. But at the same time, there was a few people that was feeling it. So it was like
they was feeling it, bro. We was all right, bro. We was all right. I'm telling you, man. We wasn't bad, bro. We was pretty solid, man. we had a good time up there at
It
Casino,
was a good
man.
time. For
Great
sure,
time,
for
great
sure, a
time.
good time.
But yeah,
If
man.
nothing
So
else.
if nothing else, we had a good time. So like we always do on the show, I know Will and Jimmy, you guys are new to this, but what we
Yes,
do
sir.
is we like to check in on our brothers. All right. As black men, we don't really check in on each other. What we like to do is ask in the last 7 days. So since last Tuesday, how has your mental been on a scale of 1 to 10? And the reason why we ask that is because we just want to check in on each other. All right. Keep each other. We are our brothers' keepers. We hold each other accountable on this show, and we lift each other up. So I always start with me on a scale of 1 to 10. This week it's been a little trying for me, man. Mentally, just not where I want to be in certain areas, and sometimes that weighs on me mentally. So I would say about a 6, man. So just pray for me this week. Sometimes I go through it. I get exhausted with work and trying to succeed in life, man, and it gets a little hard because I'm hard on myself. So I would say this week I'm about a 6, and I will be better. I will be better. I've been praying about it, getting some things right on my end. I just told my wife that you're gonna see a better me because I got to get better at some things. So yes, I would say a 6. What about you, Will? How has your week been on a scale of 1 to 10?
Yeah, man. Now, shout out to you for that transparency. I mean, I love this question. Man, honestly, I would probably say somewhere between a 7 and an 8 over
Hey,
the last
hold
7.
on one sec, Will. I hear feedback from some. Y'all hear that feedback? Y'all hear Will talking?
Yeah,
I don't
man.
hear no feedback.
I hear feedback when you were talking just now.
Yeah, I'm trying to figure out who that is. Everybody just mute their mic while Will talk, so I can. I don't want to hear that feedback. Keep going, Will. I'm sorry.
Testing.
You good? I don't hear no
We
feedback.
good? Okay. Good deal. Man, yeah, bro. I would probably say somewhere hovering around a 7 and an 8. The last 7 days have been just wow for me personally. I was literally sitting here thinking to myself, what have I done over the last 7 days? I was in Canada this time last week, 7 days ago, presenting to a board of executives. I flew out Wednesday of that last week to Los Angeles, spent the rest of that week there, flew back home in Atlanta, and then flew back to Jesus, where am I at right now? Flew back to LA, sorry. Flew back to LA, and we just got back to Atlanta. So I've honestly been around a 7 or 8, just really just because of, I think, just exhaustion, man.
Yeah,
Going between, professional life and then also being a dad, being a husband, and knowing that that role doesn't turn off. And I have to show up for my family the same way I show up in other areas. So a 7 or 8, but yeah, man, thankful either way.
man. I'm telling you that travel that'll do it to you, man. You said
Listen,
about 3 flights. One flight, I'd be tired for the next 3 days, dog. I already know that that jet lag ain't no joke, bro. I'm telling you, man. It
nah,
ain't.
for real, bro, for
Yeah,
real.
we gonna be praying for you. What about you on this one, Kev? How your mental been these last 7 days?
I've been straight, man. It's been slow motion. You know what I'm saying? I don't got no complaints for real. I've been about a 7 or 8.
Okay,
Real chill, cool little Father's Day. So it's been a cool week so far.
that's good. Well, I'm happy
Yeah.
for you that you having a good week. What about you? What about you, Meech? How your week been, man?
They back the last Tuesday before I left. Man, I was like a 2, for real. Like, felt like everything was breaking down, thinking about, job changes and different stuff that was going around the house, like breaks and the washing machine go down on its own. It's just, I got to buy this part. I got to do this. I got to do that. Just life, just kind of just doing this thing, just life. You know what I mean? And it's just odd that it all happened like right before, you go on vacation. And I just told myself, hey, do what you got to do, order the parts, but let it come when you get back. Go enjoy yourself. I was telling my wife this. We get 4 to 5 days out of 365 up to actually go vacay and do, kind of let our hair down and be ourselves. I think I went from like a 2 to a 9, within that span. We're back in our normal routine of things. So, we just roll with the punches and stay prayed up. And, there's always, the sun will always come up anyway. So we'll be all right.
Good. What about you, George?
I'll get about a 5 or 6, kind of like Will. Did a lot of traveling. I went down to Tampa to visit my brother. When I got back, I was there for 1 day. Then I went down to San Antonio for some job stuff, man. And so about a 5 or 6 overall. I mean, can't complain. Took the family with me down to San Antonio. Come to find out, San Antonio is a big waste of time because there's nothing to do in that big old city. It's crazy to be the second biggest city in the state. San Antonio is absolutely boring. It's crazy. You know what I mean? But overall, man, like I said, about 5, 6, I ain't gonna complain. We'll get better as we go on.
You gonna be like Charles Barkley. You see, you talk about San
Man,
Antonio.
listen, San Antonio is, I don't call them trash, but it's close. You're shut up.
Charles Barkley was tripping.
Hey, listen. San Antonio boring. To be that big of a city. It's a super duper lamer version of Houston. Real talk. South San Antonio, love you.
All right, man. What about you, Jim?
Yeah, that's crazy. But I'm like a 8 or a 9. So it's been a pretty cool little week. I mean, I could complain, but that wouldn't make a difference. So, but I had a great Father's Day. Honestly, man, I feel like I'm in a really good season, and I'm grateful for this season. But I am also very conscious of that this is just a season, and that all seasons come to an end. So you either in a storm, coming out of a storm, or about to head back into one. And so I'm just in that in between time. So I'm trying to enjoy this moment, this season while I can. But I echo very much what the gentleman said earlier about, doing stuff and being the duality between being professional and then coming back home and like trying to take that off, but still having to be dad, still trying to be father, still trying to be the best that you could be on all aspects of things. And sometimes that just makes you tired. So I'm an 8 or a 9 mentally, but physically I'm kind of exhausted. So but there's that.
Man, that's good. Well, thank you guys for all being vulnerable and telling how you feel, man. And we always got to check in on each other on this show. And that's one thing I love about this show is that we do check in and, hold each other accountable, which is something that I love. But let's get into the show, man. The first question that we got tonight for you guys is this. And I asked this question up a couple days ago, and I want to ask you guys this and change it a little bit. If you could go back in time, what mistake would you erase as a father? All right. We know fatherhood is not easy, and nobody knows what fatherhood is gonna bring. All right. It's like when you get it, you think you know what's gonna happen, and it'll tell you it's gonna slap you in the face because you are not gonna know some of the things that's gonna come up when you're a father. But me, I always like to start with me on this. If I could answer this question, what I would take back is definitely my patience. I didn't know how to deal with certain things when I was a father, especially with the young kids. They can test your patience a little bit, the crying, the talking back, saying no, this. I always felt like I got to come down with discipline on those things. And then not even putting my hands on them, but yelling. All right. I come from a yelling household where everybody's loud and everybody yells, and I got that bad too, where I still yell, and I'm trying to work on the yelling part, but back when my kids were 3 and 4, I shouldn't have been yelling at them like that, rather than just trying to explain to them what I meant. So that's something that I definitely would take back is that I did yell and my patience was so thin, and you have to have patience with children. All right. I'm learning that more and more that you have to be patient. And the older they get, your patience is going to be tested even more. But I didn't have no patience to begin with from the start. So that was something that, I would say I would take back and change about my parenting is that I would have had more patience. Let's start with Will on this one. What's something that you could go back in time and what's one mistake you would erase as a father?
Yeah, man. I again love what you just said. Man, I don't know if there's something specifically that I would go back and change or erase per se.
Mm-hmm.
But I think if it was something, right, what it would probably be is the times when I was physically present but mentally somewhere else, right?
Mm-hmm.
And I think what that looks like for me is, again, coming off of a 7-day span of traveling, 14-day span, honestly, of traveling city to city, being here, right? Being here with my kids, very much so here, present, TV on, cooking for them, all the things. But if I could be real, I think that I was mentally in other places at times as well, right? Thinking about the next opportunity, thinking about what needs to be taken care of, thinking about, build the list of just things that we can think of as just man in general, but also as fathers. So that's probably what I would say. Again, just the times where that time should be considered sacred, right? Where I'm here, yes, but also mentally and physically all at the same time. So,
That's
yeah,
good,
man.
man. Thanks for that, brother. What about you on this one, Kev?
I agree with Will. You know what I'm saying? It's like we are always here in body, but sometimes our mind can go this way, that way. You know what I'm saying? You thinking about work, thinking about other things, you know what I'm saying? But you ain't all the way locked in, all the way focused. You know what I'm saying? Sometimes I sit back and I heard my daughter call my name 3 times, daddy, 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 and I didn't lock that, you know what I'm saying? I didn't went somewhere else completely mentally. So I think that's the biggest thing, just being there locked in more mentally, having those conversations when you are sitting on the couch instead of just having the TV on and watching the TV. I think that's probably the biggest thing that I've learned.
Yeah. As men, we do that a lot though. We
Mhm.
want our me time for ourselves.
Yeah.
It's important to have, but we can't forget about the family. We can't forget about our children.
Mhm.
'Cause they need us. So I understand that. I had that problem as well. So yeah, what about you, Meech?
So I agree with you guys on that. One thing I would add, just transparency. Some of y'all know this. Me and my wife, we conceived at an early time before we got married. So one thing I wish we can go back and do was kind of have a better, more detailed conversation about our styles of parenting. Like it clashed a lot the first year and a half, 2 years or so. And we have a 4 and a 1 year old. I think now we're starting to reap the benefits a little bit better on how we want to parent our kids together.
George, what about you on this one, bro?
You know what? I'm not for sure, but I think I might have the oldest children of the pod so far. I got an 18, 15, and 11. And kind of like what Will said, I wouldn't say it's a mistake, but if I could change anything, I would be where my feet are, always be present, right? As Meech and Mike know, Caden just graduated, and it's funny. I remember the day we brought that boy home, right? And Cold is there a year, and he's already graduated, right? And it's like, man, this boy has gotten big. And so I wish the conversations that I should have had was more intentional, even with Dylan as well and with Riley, and just kind of understanding, enjoy the moment, right? Enjoy being a father. Yes, it's taxing. Yes, it's draining. Yes, you are empty, but it is the greatest job on the planet, especially when you see some of your work come to fruition. Now, all of it's not going to come to fruition, right? Because they're going to make decisions to just do things that humans do. And we also got to realize, especially for y'all with young children, they have their own little bitty young life that you might not quite get, but it's their life. And so I think us being the men, we are the lighthouses, right? We are the ones who are always having the light on, pointing in a certain direction, being a beacon, the guide for comfort, safety, protection, wisdom, everything. You know what I mean? And so again, just be present, be where your feet are, man, because now with Caden again, it's like our conversations are different. Me and Dylan's conversation started to ramp up more, and Riley, her conversation will be different as well. And so young me was just kind of not dismissive, but like Will said again, mentally somewhere else because I felt like I deserved to be somewhere else, even though I was happy where I was at. It's still like I can have a duality to this thing, but you really can't because it goes by, y'all. It's funny. It goes by faster than what you realize, man. And Mike, you said this the other day. We saw it Sunday. You on stage single with Kai. You gonna look up. It's gonna be the boy graduation. You like where time go?
Yeah.
Meet you looking right now at Dax. You can hold him as what small as you want to. You gonna look up. That boy graduate. Will, you just said you had a newborn baby, right? You gonna look up. This boy
Yes, sir.
graduate, right?
Mm.
So again, man, and if they have you and my man that her as well, like don't take that moments for granted because and I ain't trying to go too far off left. It's some of us who ain't here who can't have those moments, right? So thank God for 'em. Enjoy 'em, teach, and don't just teach, and that's what's up. So yeah, we good.
That's good. What about you on this one, Jimmy?
Yeah, as everybody else stated, there's really not one specific moment that I can think of where I'd be like, "Dang, I wish I would have did that better." However, there is it's more so the reality and the understanding that every child is different. So I got 3 girls, and understanding that all 3 of them are their own persons and they all need to be parented differently. And so it's something that I'm still currently learning, but also to have the capacity to be able to love all 3 of them differently in the way that they need to be loved. So it's something, that I'm presently learning how to do, and it's a lot. But yeah. So,
I'm praying for y'all, bro. 3 girls. Woo.
hey, man, shoot.
Boy,
It's
Mm.
loud here.
I
Loud
know.
all the time.
Yes. Hey, but at least them girls be cleaning up behind themselves. These boys is nasty, bro. If I was this nasty as a boy, I'm telling you, bro, I gotta go apologize
Hey,
for her parents.
no, these girls is nasty too. I like
Uh,
they don't clean up. Kids is kids.
Be
I don't know.
trifling,
I
right?
never thought I'd be telling my girls like put the toilet seat down. Like it's crazy.
See, my daughter don't got that problem. It's my son, bro. I'm telling you, bro. You walk in, you got smell like straight. I'm like, oh my god, I ain't gonna even say it, bro. It
Listen,
just smell like straight ammonia. Let me just say that. How ammonia smell, that's what it smell like, bro. I'm
hey,
like,
I ain't
goodness
gonna embarrass
gracious,
her too
boy, did
much on
you
this
even?
podcast because she'd be
Yeah,
mad at me. She'd be like, "Daddy,
yeah, man. We gonna go on
oh
to the
man,
next question, man. And this is the next question. All right. Next question for you guys is this: do you believe in men and women being friends when married? All right. And that means being friends with the opposite sex. I didn't put that in there. All right. Do you believe that your wife can have a male friend? All right. Do you believe like because some people have in marriage they've had friends before they were married that was my best friend. I've heard scenarios like that. But how do you handle those situations? Me personally, I feel like my wife can have a male friend as long as I'm involved as well. All right. You want to go over his house? I'm coming too. I need to meet him too. All right. I mean, it ain't gonna be no you without me being there. And that's just how I when we married, that's how it is. If you friends with him, I'm gonna be friends with him too. All right. If I don't rock with him, that means you shouldn't rock with him either. All right. That's just how I feel. I mean, when you married, you become one. And your wife is the most important thing besides God. Your husband is the most important thing besides God. So that's just how I look at it. Let's start with Jimmy on this one. Do you believe that your wife should have male friends? And does your wife believe that you should have female friends? Or how do you guys handle that in your marriage?
yeah, I'm gonna handle this very carefully and with care because this is like a hot button topic, and I don't know why it's a hot button issue, but it feels like it is. But put it plainly, I don't believe that male and female, like if you're married, your friend that's a male is your husband. And I really don't believe in close male friendships in that way. Simply because in reality, what friendship with a male, like what does a male bring to the table that a female doesn't in terms of friend? Like, you're not gonna be talking about going shopping with your homeboy, like like, realistically, it's just it's not common unless he is of that other kind of man, you know what I mean? You know? So and then vice versa, I don't feel like I have very much to do with other women. I don't have anything in common enough to be close friends with other women. Maybe and then the way I define friendship too is that's also a thing that can be different too. So the way I define friendship is a little bit different than I think what most people are. To me, if you're my friend, you're somebody that I talk to frequently, you're not an acquaintance, you're somebody that I'm texting, that I'm messaging, that I'm checking up on. And so for me, I don't think it would be appropriate for me to be doing that for the opposite sex. And then along with, and I know I'm talking long with it, I'm so sorry. I'll finish with this. But also, I feel like at the height and the level of where I'm at currently, I have to protect myself in that way. That I don't want there to be any chance for misrepresentation. And the Bible says like not to give the devil any kind of foothold. So
Come on.
there's too much at stake for there to even be that kind of misrepresentation of that and misconstrued. So I try to live above reproach in that way.
It's good. What about you on this one? Because
You know what? I think you can be. And here's what you have to do. Number one, you gotta have an honest conversation, right? I think when you do get married, you got to sit down and have a variety of conversations. What's acceptable, what's not, and there's also boundaries. My wife has a good male friend that we became good friends, and I think me and him are better friends than him and her, right? And so I do believe that long as those boundaries set and they're all understood, everything that you do can be resolved with conversation. If you have a conversation and you feel like it can't be what you want, then no, you shouldn't have a female best friend or a male best friend because, like Jimmy said, my best friend is my wife, right? There's nothing that I don't tell her that I feel like to tell somebody else. You know what I mean? Now, and I believe the same thing for her as well to me. And so again, as you grow in your marriage, grow in your communication, grow in your relationship, you can set the boundaries as you go. And you can also say, listen, if you don't want it, that's fine. And you got to make the proper precautions, tell people, hey, you know what? I feel that can be something that the enemy can come in and kind of put us under. I do believe it should be somebody that you haven't had a previous physical relationship with. You know what I mean? And so there's no female on this planet that will usurp Tiffany's position ever, even when I'm with her physically or away. You know what I mean? So, and I believe the same for me. So I think if you had a conversation, you can be okay. I mean, but to each his own. I mean, everybody has their own way of going about getting information or starting from a starting point. Like, it's not going to happen. But I believe that you should have a conversation if there's something you think you want.
yes, I like that. What about you on this one, Meech?
Agree with everything that George just said. I'll just give you my experience with that. I had a female friend that was really close with, talked to all the time, knew everything, blase blase, right? The only thing is that this friend wasn't willing to be in a conversation or be transparent with my significant other, which is my wife now. And so every time I would introduce them or it was an opportunity for them to build a relationship because if you're my friend, then you should be treating her like the queen that I upset her to be, right? And so she was always distant or had excuses or had faces or had things to say and whatnot. And so this is a friend I don't even talk to. I haven't talked to in 4 or 5 some odd years because she didn't want to be in a relationship with my significant other. And so that was just a no go. Like you have to be willing and able or participating to want to build that relationship to set that boundary of you're my friend. This is my number one. You don't come before her. We're still cool, but we're gonna do things as one with me and my spouse. And so you have to respect that. She didn't want to do that. And so I made my decision that it's just best we part ways.
That's easy. That's an easy one, bro. And like I said, if you're not gonna be friends with my wife, yeah, it's
Well,
over with. I mean, we ain't got to talk no
yeah.
more because we a
You
package
can't
deal.
you can't
All
have
right.
me and not talk to my wife. It's just
Yeah,
yeah, it ain't gonna
gonna work.
happen.
It's not
It
gonna
will
work.
not happen.
Yeah, I agree with you on that one. What about you on this one, Kev?
Yeah, I definitely agree. If it's a friend of opposite sex, it has to be our friend.
Mhm.
You know what I'm saying? It ain't no just me having a female friend and Raven ain't privy or don't know what's going on and when we talking. That ain't cool. Yeah, the opposite way around. So every friend I've had before our marriage has Raven number, and 9 times out of 10 they gonna go through Raven first now anyway. You know what I'm saying? So it's definitely has to be boundaries, and if you can't rock with my spouse, you can't like me say you can't rock with me. There ain't even nothing to talk about. You know what I'm saying? Because I don't really need you in my life. Like I got, you know what I'm saying. My wife, like I say, that's my best friend. So if you can't be friends with us, you can't be friends with one of us.
that. What about you on this one, Will?
Bro, I'm sitting over here and I can hear my I can hear my pastor, Philip Anthony Mitchell. I can hear him in the background answering this question. I think he's a great example of how he interacts with his wife, but also how he makes it publicly known that, hey, this is my wife, right? And although a lot of people may know me, all these things, this is my wife, right? Let's not get it twisted. I think there's a difference, man, between a deep, intimate relationship where you're texting, some of you guys have already said it, where you're texting, you're sharing things with the opposite sex while you're married that should be in the boundaries of the relationship that you have with your wife or with your husband. That's number one. On the other side, I also think that a difference with there's a difference between that and being in community with the opposite sex, right? And some of you guys have already mentioned that as well. Great example. I'm deeply involved in the community here in Atlanta. I'm around a bunch of folks, lawyers, folks in politics, folks all over, and some of them are women. The difference is they know who my wife is, right? I make
Mhm.
that extremely known. You can go to my page. It ain't no burner account. You're gonna see my kids and my wife the minute that you right, the minute that you go to my page. So I think that it's important to everything that you guys are saying to set those boundaries and make sure that they are set really hard. The Bible says, I think it's in First Corinthians, everything is permissible for me, but not everything is beneficial. And I think that if you kind of hold that to this question, bros, I may not necessarily need to be in a relationship with you if it's going to be impacting my marriage, right? So even if we're in community, you know, I got a wife, you know, all these things. If it even starts to creep outside of that in any sense, to my boy Kevin's point, I'm gonna have to cut it off, and I'm gonna do it without any worry, any concern. Like it is what it is, right? Because I hold no value over that of my wife. There will be no one that takes that amount of value that my wife has. Period. So if it causes a relationship to be burnt or an opportunity to be killed, so be it. It wasn't for me in the first place because this is what matters at the end of the day. So probably long-winded way of me saying
Oh, no, that's good.
it depends. Depends. Yeah.
Yeah.
Excellent answer.
Yeah, and I just wanna clean up what I said just a little bit. Like I echo what all of you guys said as far as like it depends. I'm not saying it's not possible for men and women to be platonic friends. I think in marriage it's definitely possible. I mean, to be in community, it's unavoidable to be in community when you're in community with of the opposite sex and being strictly platonic. But it just depends on the situation. Is this a person that I used to be with? Or is this somebody that I'm in an inappropriate relationship with? Like there's levels to it. And I do think it's possible for there to be platonic friendship between men and women. But I just think you really gotta examine every situation accordingly. So
Yes, completely plutonic. All right. That's the first thing. I like how you put that, Jimmy. It has to be plutonic. All right. Because a lot of times, like Will said, you in there sending text messages. Hey, I'm telling you, those are doors that you trying to open that you need to close, brother. Because if you walk through that door, I'm telling you now, it can take you down the wrong road. All right. Where you can even lose your marriage because we know how men are sometimes. All right. We sending little
yeah.
text messages. We liking our pictures. We doing these little sneaky things without our wife knowing, and that can lead to something else. All right. So it has to be completely platonic. All right. I don't have a problem
Yeah.
with my wife having a friend as long as I'm a friend with him too. If we hang out, just like Kevin, they coming down here in a couple weeks. Hey, we hanging out with Kevin and Raven. All right. This is a package that we
And I
just not
just
hanging out with Kevin. It's Kevin and Raven. All right. That's how we do things. All right. It's never gonna be Mike and not Kania. All right. And it ain't gonna be Kania and not Mike. All right. We both going
Yeah.
together. All right.
I just
We
wanna
are
put I wanna put the ladies on game too. I wanna put the ladies on game too because sometimes there are men out here who will play the long game and be your friend long enough
Hello.
for you to confide in him, and he's
Come
the
on,
the
bro.
whole time he's got different intentions. So this is for the ladies, like, be aware that some of these guys do have ulterior motives,
oh yeah.
and it's just because, biologically speaking, men are wired different, and I hope like, this is a message that I'm I'm saying not just to women, but I'm speaking this specifically to my daughters as well. That you have to examine every situation and make sure that the people are there to help you and to actually be your friend. So
Amen. That's good.
Something too.
So
Go ahead.
good, bro.
Will said everybody know in his community that he around that he's married. If you a man out here and you don't lead with that, and everybody that you come across your path don't know that you're married, you're foul, you're bogus.
Bro.
Simple as that. Ain't no other way to put it. It should never be a doubt. Like, oh, I didn't know you was married, bro. If somebody ever came and was like, I didn't know you was married, I feel so sick. Like I'm leading with I'm married, my wife is everything. How do you never ever bring up your spouse?
Yeah.
Big
And that
facts,
social
bro.
You
media,
bogus.
that social
facts,
media, that social
facts.
media can tell you a lot.
You bogus.
I see a man on there, he don't have his kids, he don't have his wife in no pictures.
Like
That's
what?
telling me something right there, man. Like,
Yeah,
That's
tell
such a
me
good
come on,
about
bro.
it.
Are you
I can't even be involved with a man who don't. I can't be your friend
yes.
if
Come
I
on, bro.
know your kids and your family, your wife ain't your first priority. I
Right.
Come
can't
on,
rock
bro.
with you.
You don't
I
wanna
can't,
display your wife, you don't wanna put your wife out there so people can see it.
man. I
That's
can't rock
telling me
with
some things that maybe he don't want people to know that he has a
you.
wife. And
That's
that might
weird.
not be the case, but that's what it leads to a lot of times when
Yeah.
guys do things like that, especially on social media.
Jesus.
You know, we
Yes.
gotta do better, man. You know, put your wife on the pedestal, man. Praise your wife. That's your wife, all right?
Yes. That's your wife.
Treat her like
God
the
blessed
prize
you
that
and
she
gave
is.
you her.
Exactly. So that's what we gotta do, man. That's why I always put my wife. I put my wife on the pedestal. I tag her in pretty much every picture. All right.
Mm-hmm.
That's how I do. You know what I'm saying? That I want you to know that I'm married and I have a wife. All right. You ain't gonna never not know that. All right. I'm gonna go with a couple of these comments. Tiff, this is George's wife. She said, my male friends are like brothers. There's no attraction, strictly like brother and sister. And then she said, amen. All right. Thanks, Tiff. Let's go
Bro,
on.
can I add this real quick?
Yeah, go ahead.
I think just to this conversation, man. First of all, I love the fact that you guys are men of valor, men of honor, man that really value this. Because, bro, I'm gonna be 100 with y'all. All right, I don't know who's gonna watch this. It is what it is. But man, there's some men out here, bro, that are married that legitimately laugh about this, about having outside relationships. It's still about how they can pull women. Bro, the first time, I kid you not, God is my witness. The first time I went to the barbershop here in Atlanta, my wife, by the way, was with me. I walk into the barbershop. I got my ring on, all the things. The barber says, "Man, where you from?" "Oh, I moved here from LA." What's up, man? You married, man? You got a ring on your finger? I'm like, "Yeah, I'm married. Yeah, of course." His response to that was, "Bro, you cannot live in Atlanta and be a married man because if you are target to every single woman." And I said, "Bro, who? First of all, who told you that? Second of all, why do you believe that? And third, looking at your finger, you are married. How can you say that?" Right? Like, and that's to me, bro, why these conversations are so important. Because if we are allowing those conversations to be had, what's going to happen is our sons, if anyone on here has a son, my son is 3 months old, right? Our sons are going to be getting their hair cut by these same man, looking up potentially to these same man, and looking at this as acceptable, right? So you'll have a generation of young boys that become man, but never truly transition into a man because they listened to a boy who never transitioned into a man get married. They'll do the same. They'll go through all the things, but they still live an outside life because at some point, someone told them that that was okay, and not enough men told them that it wasn't. And I just want to make that point clear, man, that what you guys are discussing, how you're discussing it, bro, these conversations got to go outside of these walls as well, because as simplified and as much as we think like, yeah, you should just know this, bro, I'm telling you, there are many men that don't, and there are even more that are hyping up these men that go against it. That's all I gotta
We
say.
we all
But
know men. Can I
I
say
think we all
something there
know
real
that.
quick? We all know men like that. All right. I tell this story all the time. At my job, I am an anomaly. All right. I'm a married man that does not cheat. All right. When I about 2 years ago, this guy is married, by the way. He comes up to me and says, man, You ain't never cheated on your wife? Not one time? I said, no. He said, you lying, bro. He said, we all married her. We ain't cheated. I said, well, I'm not lying to you at all. I've never cheated on my wife. He said, man, you crazy. I looked back and said, you know what? It's crazy how doing the right thing is so rare these days.
So rare.
Wow.
It's rare to be a real man. All right. And that's why I said I have to create a community like this where we can talk with men. And you know what? Even different type of men. I want them to come on here and they can argue their point with me. But I want guys that believe in the same thing I do so this can get out because this is rare. What we have right here is rare. It's not a lot of men that's talking about these things. It's just not. So I agree with you, Will. This thing has to get out. And that's why I created this platform 4 months ago. So we could talk about these things because guys really do look at it like marriage is a joke. I'm just going to get the ring to shut up. That's basically what they do these days. They not really believing in the vows that they took. That's real. What about you? Go ahead, George.
To Will's point and your point, it's funny because nobody values the sacredness of marriage because it's portrayed in media as something that's kind of dull and antiquated, right? You know what I mean?
Come on, bro.
Listen to what you just said. That man said, you haven't cheated? That's a crazy question to ask a married man. You ain't never cheated on your wife? That's the oddest question to ask a man who's faithful, right?
Easy.
Every man don't cheat, right? And so in media, they make those things look so exotic and erotic, but what people don't know is you walk down that path, man, and I heard me say this before. Sin will always take you further than you want to go and keep you longer than you want to stay and mess up everything that you got. Then it's going to turn around, go to the Father and be like, look at what you created, right? So people think it's a game. And I know Kev, Mike, and Meech heard this, and Will and Jimmy. I'm so blessed right now to meet you guys. When me and Tiffany got married, I did this thing. I did not understand why I did it. I said, I'm going to be married for 100 years. I said it as a joke, but as the years go by, the Holy Spirit started showing me the reason why you said that because you was committed from day one. Even though I didn't know how to be properly married as a husband or a father, each year that we go around the sun together, I get better and better and better. And so I told Tiff, you get 100 years, then I'm out of here, right? So I didn't get it at first, but the Holy Spirit showed me not so long ago. You said it because you meant it. You didn't know how you meant it, but I'm going to show you how to get it done. And early on, I wasn't the best, and she'll probably tell you that, but over the years, it got better. And it goes back to how Black men are viewed in the community that we have. I don't ever want nobody to come up to me and say, man, you ain't cheated, right? Are you out your mind, man? No, because you don't realize that also tears down your home. Jimmy got 3 girls, right? If that man steps outside the house, he now leaves the house unprotected, and them girls can do whatever, and the enemy will run rampant. That's what the enemy tries to do to tear down marriage, and marriage is a sacred thing. It's not antiquated. It's not outdated. You made them vows before God. You might not know what you said, and that's fine, but it's a covenant that you will learn as you grow and go together. That's what it's about.
And like you say, it's that covenant part. And people don't realize you made that covenant with God. You know what I'm saying? You know, your spouse just get the trickle down effect if you not wanting to, you know what I'm saying, do anything or do anything against the Father. So my heart posture is to God. I want to make sure I'm pleasing you in everything I do. I want to make sure I'm pleasing you in this marriage. And with that, my wife going to get the trickle down effect of me wanting to make God happy. You know what I'm saying? If my focus is to make God happy, she's going to get the world from me. You know what I'm saying? Because that's what I'm calling her to do as her husband. So I think it's like it's become a worldly concept of marriage where you can marry this person can marry this person, men can marry women, women can marry women, men can marry men, and we completely taken the God out of it. It's biblical. You know what I'm saying? Marriage is biblical. And once we start stripping God from it, bro, you get what you get. You ain't never cheated on your wife?
Man.
That's what you get.
I think it's just fearful. It's fearful to be around men that just walk around like it's okay.
Yeah.
Like,
it's crazy.
oh, you don't care. You don't care that you can lose your family.
But
You don't care about breaking your wife's heart.
That's
You don't
good.
care about your vows. You don't care about your morals and standards and things like that. You can just go
Another
on
man
with your
raising
life
your kids?
like that.
And men have to
Another
be
man raising your kids.
oof,
Dead,
man, that's crazy right there. You know what? Men
bro.
got to be strong, bro,
You know
because
what I'm saying?
it's women out there that seek men like that. All right. They want, like Will said, they
Yeah.
want married men. All right. They call home wreckers, but that's really what they are. They're there to do. They are there to wreck your home. They're coming after you to wreck your home. It's women out there that is like that. And I mean, I'm talking to the women too, because they play a part in this. Not as big as the man, because the man makes the decision. But there are women out there that don't want their own man. They want somebody else's man. They
Bro.
literally go after other people's men. They do not want their own man. All right. They're only attracted. And I feel like that's a
Mike,
problem.
that's devilish right there. That is
Yes.
complete
Man,
devilish. That's devilish.
It
Or
is,
a
bro.
certain type of man that can do something for them.
Exactly. All right.
So I
Because
think I heard a. Go ahead.
go ahead, Will. You good?
No, I was just going to that point. I believe a w- it was a lady that told me this, that the reason why women do that, they go after married man, is because they look at them as fully packaged. Here's what they mean by that. If I go to the car lot, right? I'm not looking at the cars that are still sitting on the production line, the ones that are still being built, the ones that don't have tires on it. Everyone obviously is looking at the cars that are ready to be sold. A lot of women, to your point, that are single, they look at married man as having it all together. I mean, this is even in the corporate world. There is a statistic that shows that executives value men that have a wedding ring because it symbolizes trust. And I might be getting some of this wrong, but trust and what's the other one? Commitment, somewhere along that line, right? And it's exactly what George just said. It's low key demonic, bro. Like the fact that this exists in the world shows you how much the enemy hates a union brought by God. Period, is what it is, right? I think we're all men of faith on here. He hates it, right? So he puts these different thoughts that are sick, disgusting in these women. They roll with it. It become part of culture. And now you see a generation of men leaving their wives for other women who they cheated with. And then the woman that they cheated with goes through the same thing and they wonder why exactly are they cheating on me? Girl, you were the one that he cheated on his previous wife with. This is this is a much deeper conversation. I'm probably going much further than I need to.
Mhm.
But it's a real thing, bro. Like I literally have seen it.
A leopard don't change his spots. Okay. Whatever you get, he gonna do the same thing to you. I'm just being honest. He gonna do the
Jesus.
same thing to you. I got one more question for you guys. We only gonna get through 3, and it's been a great conversation tonight. We already at 50 minutes. But this is the last question I have for you. And this is a scenario. All right. This scenario. And shout out to my wife. She sent me a couple of these and she wanted me to ask these on the show. So I'm gonna give her a shout out for that. But it says you're exhausted from work, bills are piling up, and your child wants your attention. What do you do in that moment? Your child says you're always working. How would that affect you? This one's crazy because this was actually my life. That question was actually my life. And I'm telling you, man, prayer changes things, man. Talking to God, God answers prayers. I want to tell people that tonight, man. If you talk to God, man, He will hear you. He will hear you. He'll hear your cry. And that was something that I struggled with was I wasn't really getting to see my kids, but only on Saturdays and Sundays, man. It didn't hurt me. My wife, they had a stronger connection with my wife because they were always around her. I didn't really know my children. My children were growing up. They were saying little things that I didn't even pick up on. Like, when did they learn that? When did they pick up that? When they start getting good at reading that well? It was things like that. And I'm telling you now, I just told God, man, make room, man. Make room. And right after that, I just got a new position on my job where now I work in the daytime, and I told Kev that, man, that's why I'm able to do this show tonight. It's because God worked, man. He worked some things out to where now I'm working 8:30 to 5, and I get to see my kids every day. I get to tuck them in the bed. I get to do those things. I haven't got to do those things in the last 9 years. So I'll tell you guys this, man. Pray, man. Talk to God. Tell him to make room in your life for the things that matters. And on top of that, you got to do your part as well too, because we are consumed by a lot of things. We are consumed by this thing called a cellular device. That's the first one. All right. That takes up a lot of our times. We are consumed by the video games. We're consumed by sports and gambling. That was one that I had a problem with as well, where you have to make room for those things for your children. All right. Because I'm telling you now, if my kids say, "You always working, I never see you," that would break any father that loves their children's heart. All right. It would, because you don't want to work. You want to be around them. But those there are some things that you can alter in your life that makes more room for them as well. All right. That you can take away. You have to take away some things. You have to sacrifice some things in order to be more present in your child's life. And that's one thing I would say is pray and ask God for what you want. All right. And be intentional in your prayers. I always tell everybody that. Tell him exactly what you want. All right. Be intentional when you pray. All right. And he will answer your prayers. All right. What about you on this one, Will?
Yeah, man. Bro, you said a lot, man. Bro, I spent some time with the Lord and had that exact same question. Like, Lord, how can I again be more intentional with the time that I have with my children while also balancing this life that you've called me to? Like, how do I do this? And very similar to you, Mike, my wife is a stay-at-home mom. Thankful for her to be able to be here with the kids while I'm out doing what I got to do. But that doesn't substitute the fact that they need daddy as well. So for me, man, after I asked that question, very similar to you, man, I just seen the Lord just start to move some things around. And really, really what's interesting is that my life didn't change completely, like dramatically per se. What really happened is he opened my eyes to showing me that there's more time that exists in the life that I have right now that I just wasn't using
Exactly.
properly, right? Being more efficient, if you will, with the time that I do have. So, bro, I'll give you an example. Literally today, right? Walk through a day of a ton of time prepping for a presentation. Ran through that presentation, has some more things to do, all the things, but my kids come running down into my office. Daddy, they on summer break. They don't care about nothing I'm doing. Daddy, had a question, whatever it is. And in that moment, I realized that I could just continue to put myself into my computer, into my work, or I can say, man, this will be here tomorrow, but this moment may not, right? Them
Yes.
coming in, asking me to do whatever it is, this moment may not be here tomorrow. This job will be here tomorrow. So, bro, I cut my computer off, bro. Told them to throw on some shoes. I don't even know if they took a bath, right? I was just like, yo, put on some clothes. We about to go for a ride, right? We about to go to the store. Let's go to the car wash. Let's go pick y'all up some candy. And bro, their day was made off of just that intentional time. So I don't know if I'm answering the question or not, but
You
really, I
are.
guess what it comes down to for me is understanding that any time that I have, whether it's 5 minutes, 5 hours, or 5 days with my kids, I'm gonna make that the best time that they've ever had because I'm gonna be intentional with every second that I have with them. So, man, a lot of what you said, to be honest, and really just following up on it with some of that efficiency with the time.
That's good, Will. What about you on this one, Kev?
My situation was pretty much like yours. Early on in our marriage, I was working two jobs. Basically, I was working from 7 to 3, and from like 3:34 to midnight. You know what I'm saying? So I didn't have no time to see nobody, do nothing. And I just told God, I can't keep doing that. You know what I'm saying? I prayed, I told him what I wanted, and I quit a job. Just off the rip, I quit. I was working at a school. I was subbing at a school, and I ended up stopped doing it. I was done. And from that moment when I quit, each year my finances have increased. Like
Wow.
I mean, like tenfold. I told my wife yesterday, I was like, I remember when I was making this much. I make 3 times that now in one job. You know what I'm saying? So it's just like God is amazing. His word is his word, and he's gonna do what he says he's gonna do. It's just up to us to be faithful and have that mustard seed faith. That's all it takes.
Yes.
just to believe, you know what I'm saying, and what he said and what he told us, and to stand on it. And I did it, man. God is leaps and bounds. So I'm thankful. I'm grateful.
Amazing, yeah. That's amazing. What about you on this one, bro?
Yeah, man. Kev, I love what you just said with that mustard seed faith because I'm actually going through that walk now. As y'all know, I coach two sports. I'm a defense coordinator and the assistant head coach in baseball. Last year was a struggle for me because wasn't the best seasons. Stepped into a new role, very very time consuming, working literally 7 days a week. Got young children. My wife, she's still working full time and taking care of the kids, and asking her to hold it down, and it's just like that's just too much because I'm missing things with my kids. Can't get them in activities. I'm missing activities. Can't take them to school and things like that. And so I actually stepped down from the baseball part of it. I'm just gonna focus on one sport. And I talked to God about it. Was it hard? No, it wasn't. It actually was not hard because this is something that I knew deep down that God told me, like, don't worry. Don't worry. I get you through this because he's done it before. Don't worry, I get you through it. And so I told him before the season that hey, I'm not gonna be here next year. I'm not gonna coach baseball next year. I'm gonna do one sport. I got a great schedule on my job. And it's too much time for me not to be putting my mind or focus towards something else. And I got a business that I started last year that I didn't put enough time into because I was chasing a different kind of dream. And so I'm going to use my time strategically, but I also, most important, I get my time back in my home. I can do things around the house. I can help my wife out. I can be around for my kids. I'm not going to worry about the finances and things like that. Like my dad always tell me, like, son, I've been to him about working paycheck to paycheck, this and that. He's like, are your bills paid? I said, yeah. He said, well, thank God for that. Like it's already done. Don't you worry about that. You know what I'm saying? And so I'm really excited for this school year. I had thoughts of reverting my decision, and I was saying, no, I'm not gonna do it. I'm standing on what I decided, and I know God gonna bring us through with that. So if anybody out there that's at that crossroad of you worried about money all the time and stuff like that, just don't.
That's good.
He would never leave you nor forsake you. I always stick to those words. Like, just trust him, have that muscle seed faith, like Kev said.
What about you on this one, George?
It'd break my heart, but for Kevin, for me, it's addition by subtraction. Sometimes you got to take away the add, right? You know what I mean? And for Will said, I love what Will said. It's about kind of being effective and efficient with your time. You get 24. That's all you're going to get. But you don't realize you waste so much time doing a whole bunch of nothing. But if you tell your time where to go, you realize you got more time than what you realize, right? And so to the question, it goes back to, like I told you, I just got back from San Antonio. And so Friday we left for Tampa. And when I got back, I said, hey, we need to go to San Antonio on Wednesday. So I was back for one night, like, dang it, I got to go to San Antonio. I said, well, I'll tell you what, I want to take my family because I love being with my family. I do not like being away from my family. A couple of years back, I had some travel I had to do, and they sent me down for the Houston a couple of days, this and another. I just don't like being away from my family. It don't sit right with me, right? So I said, well, I can drive down to San Antonio. She was like, yeah, we'll go. I said, what do you think about Riley and Dylan? Kaden couldn't go because he had his job. So they sat in the hotel and they swam and they did their thing and I worked. But when I got off, we started sitting the boring city of San Antonio. But it's about creating the moments that Will mentioned, right? That we all kind of agreed upon, right? So as men, we're going to be stretched 100 different ways, right? We're going to have to pay bills. We're going to have to be priest, pastor, counselor, financial consultant, marriage guru, emotional guru for all our different children and our personality. And it is a lot, no doubt. But if we take it to the Lord, number one, what it say? Cast your worries upon me. I mean, my burdens are light. I'll take yours, right? It's what we call the great exchange, right? And so again, go to the source to where you charged at. Make sure you understand to tell your time where to go, and you will realize I'm making gains in spaces that only he can create. You know what I mean? And so to the question, it will break my heart. And before it has, but now I've learned if I gotta go somewhere, y'all can come with me. And I still have my family. I'm still doing my job and I'm getting paid. You know what I mean? And so I think it's just the great balancing act as men and black men and all men who do it correctly do. You know what I mean? So
It's good, cuz. And Jimmy, I'm gonna have you go into what you wanted to talk about. You don't even have to answer this question. I know we coming up on an hour, but I know
Yeah.
you want. Now, if you want to answer it, you can. But if you wanted to talk about what you want to talk about, go ahead and kind of
Yeah,
tell us.
yeah. So I'm gonna answer it because it's actually a great segue into what I want to talk about. And so whenever that happens, so I'm gonna set it up like this. I work remote. So I work 100% remote. So whenever my kids are saying, "You always working," because it's usually the third or fourth time they said that to me in an hour. And so in that same hour, I'm like, "What do you mean? I'm here all the time. I see you all the time." So for me, is them being emotional and like exaggerating. And so for me, I'm like, y'all just chill out for a little minute. I'm gonna be there, after I get done with this meeting. So for me, you have to assess the situation and figure out like they're just trying to catch my attention because they want something right now in this moment, even though I am trying to do something else. I'm trying to work. And since we're talking about work, what I wanted to talk about was what I do for work, which is I'm a AI architect or what they call a creative technologist. And so with that is a lot of AI stuff. And so I was just gonna kind of bring that to the group, but we already at the hour. So, but I just want to
Jimmy,
know,
this ain't
like,
gonna be your last time on here either, bro. You
say
can
that again.
you can always come back. I say you can always come back too. You know what I'm saying? It ain't gonna be the last time you on.
Yeah, you're right.
Jimmy,
You're right about
Jimmy,
that.
when
Yes,
you come
sir.
back, make sure you bring the songs you and Mike sang at SEMO. We want them songs.
I
We
bring
want
the
the doo
photos
wop it.
too. Like I got the
We want the
receipt.
doo wop. Shoot, shoot,
Right?
shoot. That's what
That boy Mike thought he was Gerald
All of
Levert.
that.
You heard me?
That's funny. That's funny to the mug. But
Yeah,
yeah. So yeah, maybe we'll just do a continuation. But I'm sure all of you are familiar with artificial intelligence on some level, and I just wanted to bring that to you guys. So it's something that I think you definitely should be paying attention to, because
yeah,
it's literally changing everything. It's changing the
yeah,
way we
yeah.
work. Will, I'm sure I don't even know what you do, but I'm sure
I'm in tech,
100% that
bro.
is
So
yeah.
we right here.
Yep. Yeah.
Yeah, I was like,
Yep.
I sense that. So I get everything that you're saying, and so, but yeah, it's changing the way that we work. And so if you haven't played with any of that artificial intelligence, you definitely should. And so what I've discovered is that for me, there's 4 levels of artificial intelligence and like your maturity with it. And so level 1 is that you use ChatGPT, right? So you give a prompt, what they call a prompt to ChatGPT, it sends you something back. That's just a regular, boring, basic AI assistant. Artificial intelligence is so much more. So the next layer to that is an AI agent. An AI agent actually goes off, does things on your behalf, and it has something that they call computer use. So computer use, they actually act as you on your computer. They move things around. They send emails. They send text messages to some degree. And I'm talking at a very high level because there are some things you have to do like to connect it. There are skills and whatnot, but that's level 2. Level 3 is AI orchestration. That means you have multiple AI agents working together as a team to accomplish one thing. And so I've done that in my career. And then the fourth level, y'all likely not to really need to do this unless you're some large enterprise company, and that's create your own large language model, create your own AI agent. You're likely not to do that. Why do that when there are so many good ones that exist already? But yeah, just at a high level, like that's just dipping your toe in the water a little bit, and we'll save it for part 2. So when I come back, we'll
Yeah.
we'll unpack all of that. So
Yes. So you know what, man, that's gonna wrap up our show. And you know what, Will and Jimmy, y'all were amazing tonight, man. Y'all gotta come back, man. For real.
I'm coming back. I'm
Yeah,
coming
yeah,
back.
yeah, yeah. And hopefully y'all enjoyed yourselves tonight, man. I definitely
Absolutely.
enjoyed it. you guys blessed me again tonight. So I appreciate you guys being vulnerable and being so transparent tonight, because somebody needed to hear that, and I definitely need to hear some of the stuff you guys were saying. So thank you guys for that. Right now we are on a new platform, so this is where our show will be. I actually got it connected to 2 different YouTube pages tonight because I finally figured out how to do it. But Black Fatherhood Conversations, that's where you will find us on YouTube. I'm going to start a Facebook and Instagram page for it as well. That's something that I'm in the works of. But if you feel like giving on this show and giving to the show, that's what helps us promote the show and grow the show. You can also send us anything on Cash App at Mike5. That's my Cash App. And that way you can bless the show as well. These guys don't get paid. I don't get paid for the show or anything like that yet. But we do need funds to actually support the show and get the show out to more people. So I would appreciate that if you guys could, send a support seed. That would be very helpful for us as well. Thank you guys tonight. I know we're going into about 9:30 here, so I'm gonna get us out of here. You guys had anything you wanted to say before we get off of here? Anybody? We good tonight?
Love it, bro. Such a beautiful
Man, keep God first.
That what you say, Will?
No, I was just gonna say, as I'm trying to shoo my kids away, y'all you could go over here. Yeah, you good. You can stay right here, bro. My bad, bro. No, I was just gonna say this space is needed, man. I am honestly, I had no idea what to expect when I said yes to this. I was just like, my boy Mike hit me up. And it's gonna be a good time, rather whatever happens. But bro, I just want to encourage y'all, man. Continue doing this, bro. I believe that God will give you the funds, the platform, the notoriety, anything that is needed to ultimately push it to where it needs to be. And I'll do my part as well. If there's fathers, folks that I can connect y'all with, I'm sure everyone is looking for this type of space to speak on. So my network is yours, and more than happy to help wherever I can.
Please do, bro. I definitely need that. So we'll definitely be working, man. And you guys are family now. So we appreciate you guys for watching tonight. If you could like, share, comment. Right. We need those things. Thanks, Tiffany, for commenting. Will, I see you, Will and Jimmy on here. I'm still kind of learning this new public chat on Riverside here, but I'll get to it and be sure to post you guys' comments next time as well. I'm still in the learning phase on this new platform. This is a StreamYard. This is Riverside. But I thank you guys tonight. I hope you guys have a blessed week. And like always, love y'all and see y'all next week. Thank you guys.
Hey.
All right, you brothers have a good night.
Peace. See you.
Sure.